Hey Sam, I have that assignment here. I did go ahead and reset it for you, so let's take a look at some of the questions you missed. So I can't remember on these if it lets you change your answer, but what comes up on my end is that this is the first frame that you missed. So it says a drama club sold $779 worth of tickets to the school play. Student ticket costs $3 a piece, and the tickets for everyone else cost $5 each. What equation relates the number of student tickets that were sold S and the number of other tickets that were sold T in standard form? So it should look something like this: 3S plus 5T equals 779. Oh, you might have actually been maybe putting in some numbers. So, okay, I get it. So I was having trouble figuring out what they wanted here. They wanted to know what coefficient goes in front of S. Well, that's 3 because they're $3 each. And then they wanted to know what coefficient here went in front of T, and that should have been 5. And then what is it equal to? That's 779 because that's how much money was spent altogether. So this is standard form. Standard form is in AX plus BY equals C form. So X and Y here are the student tickets that were sold, and then Y is the all the other tickets that were sold. So I think they were just looking for the coefficients that would go in front of those variables. So the situation can be modeled by 3S, so that should have been a 3, plus 5T equals 779. Okay, and this one says, what is the graph of the equation in standard form of the line shown below? So horizontal lines actually don't have an x variable in them. They're just y equals some number. So in this one, that's going to be it. X equals equations that don't have y's in them, they're actually vertical lines. I know this is more than you need to know. But so that second choice you picked, this one does not work. So that equation is just y equals 4. Okay, I'm on 7. Julia wrote a linear equation in standard form as negative 6x minus 3y equals 10. Arthur noticed that the equation was not written in standard form and wants to tell Julia how to fix it. What advice should he give her? So when you have equations in standard form, there are a couple of rules. One of the rules is you can't have any fractions anywhere, so the coefficients have to be whole numbers or integers. And the second rule is that the x term here cannot be negative. So no fractions and a cannot be negative. So what that means is in order to get rid of this negative sign, we have to multiply everything all the way across the equation by a -1. So that changes the sign. So then we would have 6x plus 3y equals -10. And so that choice is the correct one. Adding 6 to both sides would give you a positive value for A, but standard form has to have x and y on the same side. So we got to keep that 6x term, that negative 6x term has to stay over here, and so then we have to make it positive. This one's asking for the equation in standard form. So what we need to focus on here are where do these cross the x-axis. So if we have blank x plus blank y equals blank. So what you have to remember here is that your x-intercept is not the same as the coefficient that's in front of x, and your y-intercept is not the same as the coefficient in front of the y. So in this one, I don't know what your choices are. I don't think I can click on these choices. So 3 is correct here. That's I need to get a x-intercept of 4, so that's got to be a 12. Why does it have a check mark? Oh, it's a red check mark. It means you got it eventually. And then this is a -4. So remember that in order to find intercepts, 3x equals 12 if I drop the y, -4y equals 12 if I drop the x. If I divide both sides by the coefficient, I get a x-intercept of 4, that works. And I get a y-intercept of -3, that works. This one's kind of hard for me to walk you through just because I don't know what was in those boxes, what they were having you check. So at any rate, for the answers that they're showing, that's why it works, I guess is about all I can say to that. And that was 8, and this is 9, and that is 10. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit helpful with standard form. Let me know if you have any other questions. I saw you did great on the quiz, so you're probably doing okay, but maybe just needed some clarification on probably more what the question was asking than anything else. Let me know if you need anything else.